Hello, everybody. Dave Neal here, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor in Paradise, a guy's review. That's right. It is week 2, episode 3 recap. And I know a lot of people in the recap world that I live in will do a joint recap for episodes 2 and 3 because it's double sessions, baby. Not your boy Dave. That would not be the power recap move. The power recap move is that we surgically slice between each episodes and do their own recap. And that is what we have for you this morning, Wednesday, hump day, and we'll see if these bros right here in the thumbnail can say anything about a hump day. These are the type of guys that talk a lot of game and leave single eating pizza at late night. I'm calling you guys out. Let's hope they find love. We like them. Look, they bring a great energy. You know, there's a lot of sort of like, you know, Teddy's crying and Romeo's crying. What are we going to do? Are we going to find sand on the beach? And then these two bros are like, party time. You know what I mean? They come with the boombox and they're ready to go. Not for everybody. They cast a large wake, if you will. Follow me on Instagram at DNeals, and I'm on Patreon at patreon.com/Dave Neal. Today's the day you're going to want to be on Patreon. Let me just tell you that. I've got a wedding dress update coming this morning at 10 a.m. Pacific time. That's right. We're leaving for our wedding in less than 6 days, and the wedding dress has not arrived. We've got an update. It is floating around the world. We might have a tracking number. Join us for the live tracking of the custom designed wedding dress that my better half hopefully will get a hold of as she walks down the aisle, and I say I do. All right, so also not to mention 2 new videos on the Dave Neal Show, non-Bachelor content. Try Guys Drama Explained. They gave this ridiculous apology type thing, and it looked like a hostage video. I get what they're saying. You got to watch the video, but I was shocked to see kind of like how bizarre their world is. Tom and Giselle also getting divorce lawyers. Pray for Tom and Giselle. Let's start a GoFundMe for them. All right, let's get into it. Casey starts the episode off right where we left, where he goes, all right, I don't get it. Romeo's crying, but it's all because of choices he made and doings he's done. That's paradise, and that's day 2. Haley says all of her eggs are in the Jacob basket. Not a good place to put your eggs. That's like having all your eggs in like crypto. It's like, well, he's sure to disappoint. The women are going wild. By the way, everyone trying to sell me crypto got real quiet the last couple months. Don't get me wrong. I've lost enough money on crypto. Pray for me. The women are going wild trying to secure a rose. Look, it's no surprise that the men get the first rose. No surprise that the show wants to start off by giving the men the first rose, because that's just unfettered power that men don't deserve, right? That's like, oh, I get the choice. All right, well, I'll be very democratic about my rose. I'll make sure that it's given, wet t-shirt contest for the rose. You know, just like turns into some all-out douchebaggery, as it were. Haley and Lace have both smooched Jacob, and now Kira is next. So Jacob's he's doing the whole tango line. Hey, who wants the rose? Come on, get it. Come on, get the rose. She puts some leaf bikini on. We saw Kira there in her leaf bikini. She wants to be Jane to Jacob's Tarzan. Pretty big leaves. I don't know if those are real leaves or synthetic leaves, but either way, the real hero here is that double stick tape that they have. All right. She tries to wow Jacob. She says she isn't scared to go after what she wants. And this is the crux of it all. It's like the tough part is, and this might be some sort of weird gender divide because, were we born with it? Maybe it's Maybelline. Who knows? But the point is that guys like to chase after something. You know, my dog doesn't want to run until I chase after him, and then he starts running away. Oh, we're playing a game here. Guys are dumb like that, generally speaking. And but when the lady isn't something that the guy wants to chase after, and then she tries to make moves to be the aggressor, then the guy goes, oh, what are you chasing after me for? I'm supposed to chase after you. And she goes, well, then chase me. And he's like, I'd rather chase that. That's the game of chase. That's the chase game on the beach. And Kira's not being chased, sadly. I think she's beautiful. I think there's plenty of men all over the world who would chase her, but what we've seen here is for whatever dynamic exists, no guys are chasing her right now. Same thing with Haley. They are not being chased, so they're forced into a new position where they have to do the chasing, and that's not something I would chase. All right. Victoria and Justin, by the way, and Brandon says that Kira looks like a lettuce wrap. How funny was that? You know what I mean? How funny. Brandon, she looks like a lettuce wrap. Okay, it's very good. All right, nice vegan jokes here. Nice vegan jokes. Brandon, okay. Victoria and Justin discuss his rose. Then Justin chats with Genevieve. So he's got some big options on the beach. Justin gives Genevieve a birthday cake. And it's like, oh boy, here's Riley's like, you keep that cake away from that fire. As we know, last year, Riley wasn't able to get a piece of cake before it was thrown into the fire by one Mari, right? Is that how Mari threw it in the fire? Because Kenny was with Demi? Is that, the good old days? I probably butchered that. Who cares? Justin says he still cares about Genevieve. The cake just sits there. And I'm just thinking someone bit into it right there, but this is a beautiful cake. It's a good cake. It deserves love. It deserves a good home. Send it my way. Now we have Victoria pulls the, if Justin's going to pursue other options, then so am I card. And then she eyes Johnny Boy because, of course, the men have the roses. So Victoria's like, look, I like Justin, but he's still canoodling with Genevieve. Not to mention, we never really saw Justin and Victoria get romantic on their date, which makes me think that nothing was ever going to happen. So therefore, the Justin love triangle with Victoria and Genevieve was kind of fabricated. So that's my opinion there. So Victoria knew that Justin and her weren't going to be a thing. Johnny is already necking with Hunter. And then Victoria swoops in, and Hunter's like, well, what am I going to do? She's a bigger player in the old game. Although, look, I think Hunter's great. Victoria's just kind of like that force that gets the attention. She really is. Not that Hunter couldn't be, but Victoria just has that personality where she doesn't mess around. She comes in for these men. She makes Johnny hold her hand. I want to hold your hand. I want to hold your hand. Okay, excuse me. Sorry about that, Beatles. Was that an Avril Lavigne song I just sang? All right, if you know, you know. If you know, you know. Since you've been gone. Okay, that's Kelly Clarkson. Okay, they smooch. I'm just randomly naming people now. All right, the hunter got hunted. Now Victoria is with Johnny. I don't have many notes, and I feel like when I have less notes, that's more room for jazz. So anyway, and we don't have many photos either. So the hunter got hunted. Then we've got a real shuffle in episode 3 of Who's With Who. Jacob gives Lace his rose. Look, I might have not been paying attention. You ever do that? You ever zone off for a couple minutes? You're scrolling Instagram. You know, by the way, speaking of, oh my gosh, I'm not even gonna comment on it here. I'm just gonna say, if you want to see the dumbest troll we've ever had, I'm going to encourage you and implore you to go over to Dave Neal's community on Facebook. It's free, and see this troll. It was so ridiculous. It got 100. You know a comment thread is good when there's 131 comments. That's on Dave Neal Show. I'm not going to say anything else, but we've just been policing. We've been hall monitoring. By the way, shout out to Kristen Nunez for she's the new deputy sheriff who's making sure that the streets of the comment section are paved with justice. All right, tell you what, their bodies are paved with hard abs. That's not many breadsticks in the old diet to get those abs. Trust me, abs are made in the kitchen, and I'm not. I'm more like a Postmates guy myself. Okay, so anyway, Romeo apologizes for how he treated Jill. Oh, that's not Romeo. There's Romeo. Oh, he's got a floral shirt on with a rose. How apropos. So he apologizes for how he treated Jill, offers her a rose. He says, here's a rose to repair the relationship or for her to find a new guy. And she's like, I'll be taking that. No rose for Kira, Hunter, Haley. I feel bad for Hunter. She really seems sweet. She handled it so graciously. She's not all about drama. She just seems like a nice person. Same for Haley. Haley looks so sad. Haley goes, I'm 0 for 2 on roses. All right, so she hasn't gotten a rose yet. Haley, I tell you what, here's a metaphorical power recap rose for you. And but of course they look on the bright side and say, at least the Uber had air conditioning and no crabs. Although who knows what you got on the beach. All right, next day we have Jill eating avocado toast. Justin and Genevieve rekindle things, and then of course the bros are back in town. And not these bros, the movie that bombed on the box office and Billy Eichner blamed the audience for not showing up. We'll get into that story on the Dave Neal Show. But these other bros are back in town. And someone says it's Tweedledee and Tweedledum, which is kind of funny. I don't think that's the response they want. They weren't going for Tweedle. They were like more Nut at the Roxbury, like, you know what I mean? Jill lets it be known that she's open for business. She's like, just in case you didn't check out my Yelp page, I'm wide open for business. And let's just say I'll give you whatever review you want. Genevieve says she met Aaron twice, but it was platonic, and that Shanae dropped a rumor at Women Tell All that Genevieve banged Aaron. Of course, we have the advice from our good friend in the Carolinas.
Be careful who you bang.
Be careful who you bang. But apparently Genevieve didn't bang Aaron here. She didn't just deny it. She vehemently denied it. And then Aaron is testing out all the different connections. He's like, Genevieve, Shanae, Aaron. So it's kind of like when you get like an all-you-can-eat like a buffet. You're like, I want the chicken cacciatore, give me the lemon meringue pie, and some lobster bisque. Your plate's just kind of full of everything. That's Aaron being like, all right, I've got the power. I've got the power. Brain is just going haywire here. Doesn't look like we're going to have recaps next week. I'm going to be flying out early Tuesday morning. I may get you guys a Tuesday morning recap depending on if I can watch the episode Monday night while I'm packing. I'm not sure. It might be a very loose recap for you guys. It will be my wedding week, so content will be sparse, but we will try to get you a couple things during the week. All right. By the way, I'm going to be sharing, that's the other thing I wanted to share. I'm going to be sharing today on the Patreon, not just the wedding dress update, I'm going to share part of last night's dance class. Now, my fiance and I are in a waltz intensive program trying to learn how to do the waltz this week. Is it the Viennese waltz? You'll have to tune in to see. That's patreon.com/Dave Neal. So Justin calls it mad disrespectful that Genevieve would end up going on this date with, Genevieve went on the date with Aaron, and James invited Shanae. So, of course, this is amazing, right? We have Shanae and Genevieve, who were like mortal enemies on The Bachelor, now doing a group date. Could this have been planned all along? Could it have been that, now I'm not saying Shanae's off the hook here, but could it have been that the producer said, shut your trap after your season's over, don't comment at all about your feud with Genevieve, and we'll let it all play out on the beach in Bachelor in Paradise? My guess is yes. My guess is this is exactly how they wanted it played out. Genevieve and Shanae do a chicken fight on the backs of the bros, then a taco eating contest, which, by the way, is what Aaron hopes can happen in the Boom Boom Room. Genevieve, just a group date taco eating contest. All right, the sour cream. You put sour cream in your tacos? Why not? Genevieve admits that she's having fun with Shanae. She's like, yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand. We're like actually having a good time. That's because usually the people that you hate the most are people that are very similar to you, and then they found some commonality when they weren't going after the same guy. It's almost, and I hate to use the comparison, but my dog's a fun-loving dog, but whenever he's boarding up with our family's dog, and we have to feed them at separate times because they'll go at each other's throats for the same food. It's survival. Now, could it be that on The Bachelor, people will go at each other's throats because they're going after the same guy because it's survival? Maybe. Shanae and James have a makeout session, and she says James is mature and that's sexy. And, of course, they all have a good time. Meanwhile, Jared and Ashley show up to mentor the couples, even though they technically weren't successful in Paradise, but that is where they met. Rodney arrives. He's an absolute star of the show. Everyone's like, Rodney! Fan favorite, Rodney. Teddy is in tears. She wants to get to know Rodney, but has to break the news to Andrew because she's been with him. And then Andrew was dumped, which sucks because Andrew's such a nice guy. So then Teddy just leaves. Again, did I lose focus here? Teddy's gone. Doesn't want to say bye to anyone. We call that the old Irish exit. Andrew breaks down, emotional, and he's like, it hurts because I tried. He wanted it to work. I hear you, Andrew. And that's your week 3 update. We'll have more content coming to you all day long today. So stick around. We'll be right back.